Hey, Michael. Doc has a playoff postseason record of 90 and 86. I think you are 12 and 12. What makes coaching in the postseason perhaps harder than in the regular season? And can you kind of describe the chess match that goes on within a series?
Um, what makes it harder? Well, obviously the level of competition. The further you advance in each playoff round, you're playing against some really good teams. And during the 82 game season, uh, you know, 29 other teams, and you're not going to be playing the level of competition that you may play each game in the playoffs. Obviously, Doc has been around for a long time. It's kind of like last year when we played San Antonio, coaching against a guy like Greg Popovich, who's arguably the greatest coach in NBA history. But I don't get caught up in that. I mean, I don't get caught up in my record, his record. I get caught up in game number 4 and trying to help our guys win this game to even the series up. Heck of a challenge, and I hope I can coach as many playoff games as Doc, because that means I'm able to do this for a long time.
All right, I have no hands at the moment here. All right, we'll go to Harrison Wind. Harrison, go ahead.
Let's save the day, Harrison.
Coach, just the boost that Monte has given you off the bench, kind of just the steadiness that he's played with this playoffs compared to last playoffs when he struggled. How just big of a boost has that been, have you felt like?
Yeah, and I don't think he struggled last year overall. I think he struggled to make shots. I think he was 0 of whatever from the three-point line. And he obviously, first playoff game in our win against Utah, he was able to make a few threes. But with Monte, he's a player that you know what you're going to get. He's going to go out there. He's going to value the ball. He's going to make his teammates better. And as I've said a million times, he's always at his best when he's playing with pace, getting downhill, and playing aggressively. And that's when the best Monte Morris shows himself. I don't think he was bad last year. It was just, you go with your best players. Nikola and Jamal played heavy minutes. And when he got a chance, he was just unable to make some open looks. But this year, he's been much better in that regard. So I trust Monte, and he needs to continue to do what he's done. Be that spark plug off the bench, run his team, be fearless, attack. I think last game, he had a great drive. He had Kawhi Leonard on him, and he didn't freeze. He didn't, become passive. He put his head down, he drove, and he finished. So we need more of that from Monte moving forward.
All right, next we'll go to Pat Graham with the Associated Press. Pat, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm great.
Hey, when you have a prolific scorer like Kawhi, what do you consider a win on defense? I mean, is there a certain, hey, under this, it's a win, or do you think like that?
I think it wins in terms of final scores. That's the ultimate win. I think we did a really good job in game number 2. We tied the series up. We did an okay job in game number 3. But with them, if you're just talking about that individual matchup, I think it starts with defending him without fouling. Keeping him off the free throw line is always a good place to start. And then as long as he's making tough contested shots. I thought in game 1, if you go back to that game, which seems like 2 weeks ago, we were playing one-on-one, but there's no help behind Jeremy Grant's defense. So you have to show him a crowd, give him different looks, and make him work. It just can't be easy for him where he's just getting to his spots, raising up and shooting over you. He is one of the best mid-range shooters in the game. So shots that look like it's really good defense, he's very comfortable and adept at making. But there's no win against Kawhi unless we win as a team. But overall, just trying to make it as difficult as possible. I think Jeremy Grant's had some really, really positive possessions against him.
All right, we'll go to Joel Rush. Joel, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. I believe Paul Millsap is about to play his 112th playoff game. As you guys get deeper into the playoff grind and just stay in the bubble longer as well, how valuable is his experience for the younger players on the team?
Yeah, it's always valuable when you have a guy that has been there and done that. That was one of the main reasons when we signed Paul Millsap as a free agent that we were so excited. We were getting a player that had all-star appearances, all defense, titles, playoff games, obviously under his belt. So experience is a great teacher. And when our young guys can go to a Paul Millsap and ask him questions, and he can lead by example and lead with his voice, that's invaluable because, we were young last year, the youngest number 2 seed in NBA history, And, we're young again this year. So to have a player like Paul and his steady veteran leadership, when you have Jamal, Nicola, Michael, Monte, Torrey, all these other young guys, it can only help. And Paul's been great. First series against Utah, it wasn't a great series for Paul in terms of a matchup. What I loved about Paul's leadership is he was a team player. He was selfless. He continues to support his teammates, knowing full well against the Clippers, Paul's productivity has been great. Knowing this series against their size and physicality, we need Paul, not just from the veteran standpoint, but that physical mindset with big bodies to bang against their big bodies.
All right, we have time for one more, and we will end with Mike Singer. Mike, go ahead.
And Michael, after last game, Jamal said it was on him, and he said it was more so what you guys weren't able to accomplish than anything the Clippers did. And Monte said the same thing yesterday, that it was more so on you guys. Do you appreciate the mindset that when you guys go into this game, you guys are more going to control what happens more so than anything Clippers do? Do you appreciate that you guys have that implicit, inherent confidence?
Yeah, I think it's great. Obviously we feel we generated a ton of open looks that did not go down. But on the flip side of that, you have to give them some credit. They did score 30 transition points, and they did turn us over. And those two crucial runs that they had that were huge difference makers in the win, they got into us. They turned us over, which generated easy offense for them. So, yes, we did miss open looks, things that we can control. But, their defense is real. They did get into us. They did turn us over. But we look at it this way, Mike. We're down 1-2, and we felt in game number 3, we kind of gave that game away. We had our chances. We were up the majority of the game. We were right there. A few stops, a few open shots here and there. Now we're up 2-1. That wasn't the case. Tonight will be a completely different game. Each game takes on its own personality, and our hope is that we can go into this with confidence to even the series up.
All right, Coach. We appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate it. See you guys.